Tup, 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 tup. Tup, 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 tup. Good morning. I see that a few of you guys are already popping on, regulars. So good to see you this Tuesday morning. So for some practice, so go ahead and grab your mat, get situated. If you have props at all, you might grab your strap or your blocks this morning. And if you have a little lift of something to sit on, so the pillows for a couch, the small pillows, like what they call throw pillows, the girly pillows, decorative, those work pretty well for something to sit on, or you can use what we call yoga blankets. I'll set up on a couple yoga blankets, so just basically white cotton blankets. But have something to elevate your seat, and we'll get started. If you're sitting cross-legged, draw the shins forward this morning such that the feet end up hiding underneath the knees. So it's not like this position, which is called Sukhasana. It's a different cross-legged position. And you can always grab your blocks or extra pillows under the knees. And you can always sit up on a little more lift, okay? So yoga practice is one we return to again and again. We want to have this skill set of working with our breath. Sometimes we get the benefit of yoga as being similar to exercise, but I always tell my students that yoga is not exercise, or that's at least not why I particularly practice it. It brings benefits like exercise, but it actually is so much more. It's mind, body, and spirit if you choose. So it allows us to connect deeply with our inner experience, and it also allows us, because of that, to potentially connect more deeply with our outer experience out into our lives. In doing so, it uses the physical body so that when we feel a sensation in the body, we can use that as a mirror to when we feel a sensation in our world, in our life. And and then we can use the practice of staying when something's a little bit uncomfortable, the practice of getting out of something when it's too uncomfortable. Okay, so you can use the practice for all of these things. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Find your comfortable seat, and I'll ring us in with the bell. Today's invitation is to be fully present for this whole time. We'll practice for about an hour. Just really invite yourself to be as present as possible. If there are interruptions that come in your house, like probably for me, it's like my dog, she'll come in. Just allow it, but come back to the presence on your mat. If there are interruptions that come in your inner experience, same thing. Relax the toes, the elbows, the jaw. Let's begin practice with one round of breath into sound of Om. Take a full inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale to Om. Good. Set your intention for practice. Gently bow the head into the heart, sealing your intention. And then raise the head, release the hands, and invite the eyes to open. Good. Let's take the fingers to the fronts of the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, pull the elbows back, lift the heart. Gaze up. Exhale, rock back, chin to chest, tailbone towards the front. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, tuck it in, chin to chest, tailbone forward. Shoulders towards the back of the room. Good, and then move with your breath cycle in and out, warming the spine. If you notice a place that feels good to stay with, then stay there for another moment or two. Good, let's do one more. End on a lifted chest, and then twist to the right. I'm going to go the same side as you guys today. Gaze over the right shoulder. Keep the twist. De-rotate the head. Gaze over the left shoulder. And then keep the twist. Take that right arm, reach it up and over, so you go twist plus lateral fold. This is a big one. And you can pull with the left hand rather, bending that elbow, kind of cranking it a little bit. I use that term broadly. Don't crank anything too hard, but see how that feels to bend the elbow, do a little extra, and then be a little heavy in the top hand. Good. And then inhale, rise up, release. Now let's switch with shins in front. Presumably you're cross-legged. If you're some other way and it's asymmetrical, switch that slightly. Again, let's take the hands to the fronts of the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest, rock it in. Good. And then go back and forth on your breath cycle. Presumably sitting on something soft. So if the sticky mat is holding your seat there from moving fully, maybe sit on the carpet. Good. Last one. End with a lifted chest. Pull the elbows back. Good. And then we twist to the left. Gaze far over that left shoulder. Ethereal twist. Full deep breath. Good. And then keep the twist and de-rotate the head, which means look over the front shoulder. Full deep breath. Good. And then from here, take the back hand, arm up and over. So we take the twist plus the what's called lateral fold. So you really get into the side body. And then you can see here, I'm kind of pulling with the bottom arm, doing a little extra there in the shoulder joint and shoulder muscles. Gaze could go up. And inhale, we release. Nicely done. Shake that out on the wrist a little bit. And then let's come forward onto hands and knees, preparing for downward facing dog. So you can move your props out of the way. Let's walk the hands forward and take the hips back towards the heels in what's called puppy stance. Crawl the fingers out. Release the head or the chest down towards the mat. For me, the forehead can rest. Chest coming down is a little more a different lifetime, but we're here. Do what you can. Hips are lifted a little bit, and there's that length in the spine. Good. And then from here, tailbone's lifting up a little bit. Tuck the toes and keep that lifting the knees and lift the tailbone up. So you have the low spine that we talked about this a couple weeks ago coming in this way or that way. And what I'm looking for is that the tailbone's lifted so the low back goes into its natural curvature, which is lordosis or in. Press those hands down forward as we lift the hips. And then let's take 3 rounds of lion's breath here. What we'll do is inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the knees, heels go down and roar it out. And that was a practice round. Lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward between the hands. The head goes releasing and the heels release as we stretch back. Good. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Good. Release down to the knees. Let's sit back on the heels, taking a breather on the wrist. Interlace the fingers, press the palms forward. Thumbs touch each other. 3 middle fingers press forward as the thumbs and the pinkies draw back towards your face in this one. Good. Inhale, take the arms, reach up, open chest. Gaze goes up, press palms to sky. You can take a little bit of a back bending action here, lifting up, ribs a little bit more. Lean back. Come to neutral and release. Nicely done. We'll do 1 more of those. This time interlace the fingers the second way, which means the way that feels a little bit weird. Press the palms away, really extending through those arms. Good. And then take it all the way up. Lift chest. Gaze up. Open. Look up. Little bit of back bend here. Open chest. Arms go back. We're breathing. Focus into the top chest. Come to neutral, navel in, and then release. Nicely done. Let's return to downward facing dog, please. Inhale. Exhale, we take it back to dog. Good. Let's step the dog just a little bit wider. And then check out your toes. Good $1 million view of the toes, like oceanfront home view of the toes. That would not be $1 million. That would be several $1 million. Anyway, you have $1 million view of your toes. And then heels hiding. So maybe the heels are coming in a little bit. Maybe they're going out a little bit. Can you position the heels such that they're hiding behind the shins? That's usually the correct position, usually. And then activate the arms. Good. 3 deep breaths. Good. And then release the right foot forward between the hands for lunge pose. Lift the chest. And then step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen spine. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps back to lunge. Exhale, left foot steps back to meet the right. Inhale, lift the heels, come forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower to the knees, and then mini push-up down to the mat. All the way down, point the toes, release the forehead. Let's lift the hands up off the mat, and then inhale, lift the chest. Cobra, no hands. Keep your toes rooted into the yoga mat. And then release it down, release your hands, release the forehead. And then inhale, come up, cobra, with the hands down on the mat. Keep the shoulders out of the ears so they go down the back. Pull the heart forward, gazing forward or up. Exhale, release it all the way back down to the mat. Rest your forehead. Take a full breath. And then an inhale brings us up for third round cobra. Rise up. Again, shoulders out of the ears. Elbow points back. Hands pull back. Exhale, release it all the way down. Good. Tuck your toes. Sit the hips back to the heels. Modified child with the toes tucked. And then coming to hands and knees. Inhale, exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Good. This time let's take the toes together. Send the right leg up and back. Press actively through the arms. Good. And then lift the leg higher, spin the hip open. Again, press actively through the arms. Bend that knee, top knee. Gaze under the left armpit. Re-extend the leg, square the hip, look forward. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, arms sweep back. Inhale, rise all the way up to high lunge. Let's take the elbows to goddess. Elbows wide. I'm going to turn just for a moment. Elbows wide like so. In the lunge. Pull the shoulders back. Gaze up. 3 breaths here. Good. And then turn, just turn the top chest towards the right. Stay lifted. And then hook that elbow either on the outside, left elbow on the outside, palms come to prayer, or modified, left hand down, right arm up. Your choice, your body's choice on what works this morning. Let's inhale, rise all the way back up. This time lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, release both hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Inhale, lift the heels, come forward, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift to back bend of choice, maybe upward dog this time. Hands press down, shoulders pull back, toes into mat. Exhale, lift the pubic bone all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, let's take a full breath cycle in. Full breath out, maybe a sigh. Let that go. Inhale, big toes come together, and then left leg goes up and back. Initially, the shoulders are square and the hips are square. And then let's lift the leg higher, spin the hip open, activate the upper body, peek underneath that right armpit, and then bend the knee. You could keep the toes active or point them, either way today. Re-extend the leg, square the hip, look forward, and step through. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, arms sweep back. Inhale, we rise up. And once again, the modification today, goddess arms, elbows bent, lift, chest. If it's a lot on your back hip, you can micro bend the back knee here. That's okay. I'm okay with that, to roll back. But if it's okay with the back hip, then the knee could be straight. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, lean it back. And then twist towards your front knee. Keep an upright spine for now. So we're using the musculature to turn. We're not overdoing it with the upper body or the arms work. And then perhaps take the elbow, and you have a better view this time, to the outside, and that palm comes together. Or, very okay, to take that hand down and twist that way. Either way is really good. Find what works for you. If balance is a challenge this morning, drop back knee down. No harm, no foul. Turn chest open. Maybe the corners of the lips turn up ever so slightly, as if it's super fun, which many of us feel that it is. But how is your face right now? Can we soften? Good. We inhale, we rise up all the way to the middle. Exhale, release both hands down. Step back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Let's take a full breath cycle in. Full breath out. Lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. And as long as your wrists are okay, do a little hop, little bunny hop. Bend the knees, look forward, little bunny hop. Just lift the feet up any amount. And if you're into it, body's into it, look forward, kick the butt. 5 times. Good. And then walk it all the way forward. Between the hands. Notice like that really gets the heart rate up. You can hear it even in my voice. And now we let the heart rate kind of come back down. Woo-wee. Fingertips down to the shins, or utilize those nice blocks. Inhale, we rise, lift halfway. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise halfway, hands to the hips, elbows back, root heels rise all the way up. Good. Come to standing at the top of your sticky mat, that is. Tadasana, mountain pose. We find this mountain pose supposed to be grounding and rooting, cultivating all of that earth energy, which supports us. Which allows us to grow up from the earth, through the feet, through the spine, legs, all the way to the top of the head. Good. Okay, let's do a first standing pose for balance. Also a little bit of hip and leg work. So if you're a beginner, you might go to the wall and come to the wall. Put the glutes to the wall. We'll inhale, take the arms out to the side. Draw the right knee into the chest, and then we'll cross the right leg over the left, like so. and bend the knees. Now this foot might be hanging out in space, or wrap it around if that's okay with your knee. Again, glutes could be to the wall, right leg's on top, and then for today we'll do right elbow underneath the left, palms come together. I'm going to turn around so that you guys can see a little better. There we go. If you want to play that activity of turning, go for it. Never really done that before. Kind of fun. You just move your heel. Sit low, lift elbows, breathe here like an eagle on the top of a tree. Gazing out over the whole world, or at least that riverbed. Breathe, breathe for 3. Sit a little lower, lift elbows a little more for 2. And for 1, slowly unwind, release. Give a little shake out. Okay, second side. Inhale, arms go wide. Exhale, bend the knee. We'll lift the left knee up. Go ahead and find the wrap, maybe a single wrap with the ankle free, or double wrap it around. If you're double wrapping, keep the pelvis kind of square to the front. Inhale, exhale, left elbow under the right. If it's too much to do both the legs and the arms together, then choose your adventure. Change it up a little bit. Let's lift elbows and then bend more deeply into the hips and the legs. Find that rooted energy while we balance and hover on the top of a tree. Or like we're on the top of a tree. Metaphor. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Slowly release, unwind, give it a little shake out. Good, nicely done. Let's come back to the center to our Tadasana, mountain pose. This time let's reach the arms out and all the way up overhead. Take the 2 palms together and just gently touch the 2 palms together. Gaze even a little bit up. Good, exhale, the hands come back down to prayer. Beautiful, so this next one, we could have a little bit of support of a strap. We're going to take the right foot and cross it over the left. Inhale, lift the chest. Then you might interlace the fingers behind the back or hold your strap. Exhale, we'll fold forward. Just like the last pose, if doing both the legs and the arms feels like too much of an ask, then just do the legs. Inhale, we rise up. When we twist across the midline, we retrain the brain a little bit. We kind of test the brain in different ways. Uncross, recross, interlace fingers behind the back. Again, second most common interlace, so do what's less comfortable there. Inhale, lift, and exhale, we fold forward. You might notice that your legs and your spine respond a little bit differently when they're crossed the midline like this. So check in, how does it feel? What are the assumptions? And then how does what actually arises meet those assumptions, or maybe not? And then we train ourselves to let go of the assumptions. So when you ask a lot of your body, sometimes there'll be a story behind it. A can that starts with I can or I can't. Let's just let it be a clean slate today. Inhale, rise up. No assumption. Slowly release. Give it a little shake out. Nicely done. Cool. Let's step the feet wide apart to wide fold now. All toes face the same way. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, let's fold forward over the legs. Release both hands down to the mat. And inhale, we'll lift up and lengthen the spine. Draw the heart forward. Activate the toes. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we lengthen. I like to imagine we're like kelp on the ocean floor. We lengthen when the wave of the breath comes around, and we release as it passes. Move at your breath cycle. Eventually settling in to the forward fold, maybe walking the hands back, placing the hands under the shoulder heads. It's a little bit like the upper arms and the lower arms are doing a little push-up. Good. Inhale, rise, lift halfway. Exhale, hands to hips, elbows back. Let's rise all the way up. Good. Step or jump the feet together. And we'll continue with a bit of flow. So come back to the top of your yoga mat. We'll add some Surya Namaskara B with some modifications. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. Take the arms up. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward, out and down. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, step walk or float back to plank pose. Lower halfway through. Inhale, lift your chest. Upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do a little bit of core work today. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, right knee comes into the chest. Point the toes. Inhale, come up. You might even kiss the knee. Exhale, right knee to right upper armpit. Point the toes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right knee to left upper arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Back heel comes down. Windmill that arm around. Come into warrior two. Nice deep bend of the front knee. And then we'll inhale, lift both arms up. Straighten the knee. Exhale, bend deeply. Gaze forward. Inhale, lift up. Straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift up. Straighten. Exhale, bend. Sustain. Gaze forward. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Take it all the way back. Inhale, reach forward. We might windmill the arms. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, take it all the way back. Sustain. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Sustain. Left arm comes down, top arm, or right arm comes down, left arm comes all the way up and over. If you've got a bind in your practice on this one, you could do that. Inhale, rise up. Whew. Exhale, release both hands down, step back, top of a push-up plank pose. You could go here, you could do a vinyasa push-up position, or go back to dog pose. Did I mention today? I did not. That we can go to child's pose at any time you need a rest. I know we're all levels here. So you can go to child's pose if you need a rest or want a rest, which looks like this. Whenever we're ready, return to downward facing dog. Second side, easy side. Left leg goes up. Exhale, the knee comes to the nose. Maybe kiss the knee. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, left to the left upper armpit. Point the toes. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, we come across. Point the toes. Inhale, we take it up. Exhale, we step it through. Warrior two, second side. Windmill the arms. Stay where you are. I'm going to turn so I can see, or so I can see, but you can also not just see my back. Good. And then we inhale, straighten the front knee. Lift up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Reach up. Exhale, bend. That front knee is open. The back toes turn towards the front side of the mat. Inhale, or a little bit towards the front. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale. Exhale, bend, sustain. Warrior two. Open external rotation of the thighs. I've got the palms turned up today just for a variation, which helps me to drop the shoulders. Gaze forward. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, take it to reverse. Inhale, reach forward, maybe windmill the arms. Exhale, reverse. Move with your breath. If I'm going too quickly, slow it down. Or if you need to go a little more quickly, speed it up. One more. Take it to reverse, sustain. Inhale through warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Fingertips down or elbow to the thigh. That works too. The bind looks like this. Top arm comes behind. Lower arm comes underneath. And we turn the chest. Full deep breath. Sometimes when the going gets tough, we want to hold the breath. Please don't do that. Please breathe naturally as much as you can. 2 and 1. Slowly release. Warrior two, power move. Exhale, both hands down. Step back. Plank pose. Lower through. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog pose. Lift hips up and back. Nice big sigh breath. Let's take 3 of those. Inhale. Good. Let's lower to the knees. Set the hips back to the heels. Take a rest in child's pose. Relax the elbows while you're there. No need to hold extra tension. Doesn't do us any good, really. It's like worry. Doesn't actually do us any good. Sometimes you hear that quote, worry is praying for what we don't want. You know? Never pray for what we don't want. So why do we worry? Inhale, rise up. I'm sure you have a response. I'm Challenger type on the Enneagram, so I have a response to that. It's like, well, I worry because, and there's always good reason to think about worrying, but couldn't we just let it go, Okay, nice. So let's transition a bit to squat pose. Today's squat pose, let's take the big toes together, lift the heels, and send the knees forward. If this is too much on your knees, you can squeeze the inner thighs and come up. This takes a little bit more effort in some ways, but it's better on the knees. And then we'll all take the hands to prayer. Send the knees forward. Good. And then let's walk the hands over to the right. Draw the knees to the left. And breathe here. Lift your chest. Good. Now, many of us will stay right here in a nice twist for our low back. Or plant the hands down, bend both elbows, start to come into a little bit of a push-up position, and lift the feet. The elbows both go into the thigh and the hip. And you gaze to the left. And maybe we straighten the knees. Slowly return. Let that go. Come back to the squat. Good. Second side. I'll change the angle a little bit for you guys. Second side. to the squat. And then hands go to the left. And they might just, fingertips might come down. Knees twist a little bit. They don't really twist, but they move to the right. Okay, and we breathe here. And this is a wonderful stretch for the QL and the low back. Actually can be very beneficial, so you might stay with this. Or plant the hands, bend the elbows. So you bend the elbows and you put the right elbow on the left thigh, and then put the left elbow right near the hip joint, and then start to lift the feet. Okay, so we're just in this position, and the feet start to lift. And breathe. I like to turn the head to the side. That protects the nose. I broke my nose 6 weeks ago. So, it's sometimes nice to not think about the nose hitting something first. Come back to center, to your squat. Nicely done. Let's squeeze the inner thighs. Everyone rise all the way up. Good, good, good. Come to standing. Nice tall spine. So knees are neutral now. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, let's lengthen and fold forward. So for this fold forward, you might only go halfway down, but C, which is long spine this way, but see if you can keep the knees all the way straight. So we just did a lot of work with the knees all the way bent. So now we go to, that was flexion. Now we go to full extension of the knees. So we ask the knee joints to do range of motion. You might go halfway down where I am here, or fold a little more forward if it feels okay on your spine. In either case, for now, let's just keep the knees straight wherever you are. 3 more breaths. And then everyone release, hands down to the mat. Let's step back to our dog pose. Nicely done. Good. And then we'll step the right foot forward and let the back knee come down. Release the toes. Let's come up, both hands to the front thigh. Now you may want padding underneath the back knee, or you may simply drag the back knee back a little bit more and then come forward so we're actually sitting not on the kneecap. Okay, and then we'll bend the back knee and see about finding the foot. And I take the front elbow to the thigh for support. Just turn the chest. See about this. Sometimes a wall nearby, you can use a prop. I'm always okay with people using props, especially when we're practicing at home. Use what you've got. I remember doing yoga like up when camping, and I found so many cool props. Like you could use a rock, you could use the side of a tree, just use what you've got. You can use natural variation in the landscape. Good. Open the chest, and if it feels okay, take the top arm, reach up. Go high, draw right outer hip back, left outer hip forward, and then just check in and see where is the chemistry of this pose. Where's the limiting factor? How are you doing? How is the breath? Open the chest if possible. Good. Slowly release that, unwind. Let's again lift the back knee. And then from here, let's go ahead and pivot around to the back of your mat for second side. Nice long stride. Bend the back knee. Again, drag that knee back so you come forward onto the thigh, lower thigh right here. I'm not actually on the kneecap, which makes it feel okay. Or grab your blanket. Nice deep bend of the front knee. Now you've got a good view of the back leg. And then we reach back. See about finding the foot. A strap could be useful here. You could lasso the strap around the foot. If you're like, wow, my foot's way far away, I can't get it. Just use a t-shirt or a strap. Pull in. Rest the front elbow on the thigh. Draw that outer hip back. And then from here, start to lift the arm up Gaze up, open chest. Full deep breath. If you need the wall, you could use the wall. Good. Slowly unwind, release. Let's lift that back knee up. Inhale, exhale. Let's step it back. Downward facing dog towards the back of your mat. Inhale, lift both heels, come forward to plank. Draw both feet together, zip up the midline. So draw the navel in, push back through your heels. Good. Right hand down, Vashisthasana, side plank. Left arm up, lift up. You could always use the knee in this pose, lower knee down to the mat. As a variation, this pose can be really good for those of us with a little bit of scoliosis, upper spine. Gaze up, open the heart, reach through the fingertips, that pericardium channel, our heart protector. Good, inhale, exhale, take it to dog. Inhale, lift both heels, come forward to plank. Second side, left hand down, right arm reaches up. Again, you could use the variation, knee down. Lots of my students do it that way. You could be one of them. Reach up, gaze up, if possible. Reach through those fingers. There's an openness of the chest. Shoulders are still down the back. And release. All the way through dog pose. Exhale, let it go. Good. Lower to the knees. Let's come to standing on the knees. Hands to the hips. So I'm turned a little bit away from you guys. I think it'll work. Actually, I'll just turn this way. This will work better. Tuck your toes. Lift or push down through the knees and lift the low belly up. Take the hands to the hips, pelvis, and start to lift your torso, chest up. Good. Now this is coming towards a camel pose. We'll start to lean back, and maybe the hands stay here. For many, this will be perfect. The shoulders are supporting the heart. The heart's moving forward and up. You could stay with that or reach both hands back for the ankles and keep lifting the heart. Gaze goes up. Chin to chest, hands to the pelvis. I take an inhale to rise and then release the toes. Have a seat. Pause, feel. How's that going for us? So when we lead with the heart, arms behind the back, heart forward, we really invite a vulnerability into the body, the physical vulnerability that can also transfer into an emotional one. These poses have the potential to change our emotional patterning as well, or at least clear out some of the gunk temporarily. Okay, let's do a second set. When you're ready, second set. Come up, tuck toes, find your knees rooting down, find length in that area, the hip flexor area that we worked with, that holding the foot pose, and then a little drag down with the hands. I kind of drag the sacrum down a little bit, and then start to lift the rib cage up, 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 roll the shoulders back, and then we continue any amount. Do what feels safe, but look at that heart forward from wherever you are, whatever heart forward is for your body today. Maybe hands reach back. Continue to breathe. Hands to the pelvis, and inhale rises us up. Exhale, release the toes. Sit on the heels, pause, feel. Close the eyes this time. Check in. Does your heart feel open or closed at the moment? Good. And then release. Perfect. Let's swing the legs out in front. Let's release the hips a little bit after that. So sometimes those low back poses, they're not supposed to be low back poses, but they can become them, can be kind of a lot. So let's start with the feet down. Walk the hands back, lift your chest. And then walk the left foot forward, cross the right ankle on top of that left thigh. You could stay here or scooch the upper body forward towards the front foot. Good. There's an external rotation, so I don't think you guys can see it very well, but the right leg is going out actively. So I'm in like the figure 4 position. And with the pelvis down, notice the tendency for us to scooch different directions, and see with the arms behind the back if you can just keep the neutrality across your seat. This may be plenty for many of us, or we come forward kind of like shins crossed position again, but this time the front foot is up. Instead of the shins crossed, the shins are stacked like Lincoln logs. Good, and then we might stay here or crawl the fingers forward. So there's all kinds of levels going on here. Pull the chest forward. Maybe the elbows go into the shins and we draw the heart forward. Good. We walk it in, release, unwind. We're going to meet our friends that are here, and then we all will take the right ankle, front ankle across, and actually I said it wrong, left ankle across and right foot down to the mat. So now we're in a seat for a seated twist. So I might benefit from having a little bit of lift. So I'm going to grab my blanket. What that does is lifts my low spine up a little bit. So instead of sitting back like so, I can sit forward, which is good for the spinal discs typically. And then this front foot plants. For some of the men, the lower leg going forward might be useful. It's just a matter of how narrow your hip joints are. And then we'll turn towards the right, towards the front knee, and the right hand becomes a kickstand, and the left hand comes around, elbow to the thigh. Gaze to the back. Keep the twist and gaze over the front shoulder. Good. Release, unwind. Let's switch it out. So I'm going to remove the support. Take both feet down again. Second side, left foot, ankle draws to the thigh. Walk the hands back, lift the heart, sole the foot down, and see this time you can see this knee opening, the thigh opening. Okay, now you could keep it here or walk forward a bit. Activate all the toes. Good, and we can stay with this, or for some of you, you'll transfer into fire log pose, the shins stacked like Lincoln logs. Lift up. Both ankles are a little bit active. We inhale here and maybe even walk it forward. You could stay with this or bend the elbows and traction the spine forward even more. Stay with the breath. So the practice gives us the opportunity to be fully present. And right now we're typically pretty present in the physical and also the bioenergetic, the breath, the emotional patterning. And in doing so, it's like a really conscious distraction to keep our focus and build awareness. So it's like training. It's like resiliency training. Okay, let's unwind that. Take that front foot across. Take the lower foot across. Take the top foot up and over. So we go to that, once again, kind of seated twist position, and then we'll take that support maybe underneath, so I get a little more lift of the spine that way. The front foot, the sole of the foot is down. The side foot, the foot faces back. Or you can drag that lower leg, sole of the foot forward, extending the knee. Okay, I'm going to demo it like this time, I think. Okay, and then we'll twist toward the left. Maybe you support the twist with the kickstand, back hand, and then this arm. Right elbow coming across. For beginners, right here, hook the knee like a clothes hanger, holding the knee. So good. Breathe and turn. Good, and then keep the twist and de-rotate the head, look over the front foot. Good, release, unwind, bring it all back to center. So I'd like us to do a little bit of core work before we finish class. So soles of the feet down. Let's start here. Lift the low spine up and then lift your shins. So we come into boat pose. Lift that low spine. Now you might stay here holding the thighs or reach the arms forward. You might stay here or straighten the knees. Do what works. Do what causes ease. Let's go to Ardha, half boat. Exhale, come all the way back up to full boat. Purna, half boat. Point the toes a little. Navel draws in. Exhale, full boat. One more half boat. Navel in. Stand up paddleboard pose. Go down a little bit, not even a boat. A little bit lower, be a surfboard. And a little bit lower, go all the way down to the mat, release. Take a full inhale, a full exhale. Let's just stretch out the core with one more bit of a back bend. So walk the hands underneath the body, palms face down, elbows into the mat, activate the legs. Lift your chest, roll the shoulders back, and then fish pose, release the head back. Maybe the head touches earth. Head, if it touches earth, only touches gently. Don't put a ton of pressure on the head. Activate the legs. Chin to chest. Release. Let's come all the way down. Laying on your sticky mat. Draw both knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Point the toes and rock the hips a little bit side to side. Allow yourself to arrive here in happy baby. Lift the feet towards the sky, bend the knees. Release the neck by taking the right ear towards the mat, turning the chin. Back to center, left ear towards the mat, turning the chin. Back to center, cross both ankles, just hold the feet, or cross the ankles, hold the feet and draw the knees in. Cross the shins the other way, hold the feet, draw in. Good, release all of that. Let's send the legs long down the mat. We did a lot of back bending work, so you might grab your pillows or blanket today and put those under the knees, like so, or under the thighs, like so, as we extend the legs. And then we come down to rest. When you come down to rest, do a little tuck of the tailbone so you lay really firmly on that sacrum. And then we come all the way down. Turn the palms face up, tuck the shoulders, and then release the arms wide. Savasana, final relaxation. So with this pose, we've removed all the challenge, the distraction of the asana. And we come into this pure being where we feel everything, but also nothing all at once. We are both fully present and also unattached. All the assumptions are released. And our body comes to rest. And our mind follows the body and it rests. And our spirit, our energetic body, follows the mind and the breath and the body, and it rests. Let's invite the breath to deepen. And slowly drawing back to the space. Just gently touch the tips of each finger to your thumb. Lightly clench the hands. Rotate wrists and ankles. And then on an exhale, let's draw the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. Use both hands to rise around and up to a comfortable seat. And let's close with one round of breath into sound of Om. Deep inhale. Exhale. Coming back into your intention for practice and for the day. Bowing into your intention. And I bow to you. Namaste. I honor you, I see you. Thank you all for being here. So I just want to say a few things. Thank you for coming. If you're on the feed, the live feed from Facebook, know that I just checked out who's here, and so I get to have an idea of who's practicing, and it's great to have you all, really from all walks of life here. And I'll give a couple announcements. So this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'm teaching a workshop, an online workshop. It's yoga, a gentle yoga practice, pranayama, which is breath work. Breath work is one of the ways that we can really access the mind-body connection through that breath, and through that we can make some energetic changes. So it's yoga and breath work and a little bit of meditation. And then we'll also do acupressure for stress relief. So I'll teach you guys things to do at home for stress relief, and we'll have some discussions. So it's going to be awesome. It's just 2 hours on Friday, 2 hours on Saturday. The registration is via the yoga studio I teach at, breathetogetheryoga.com. And love to have you. You can bring your family members. If you register, you can bring whoever's there. That's cool with me. And we're not really doing that much. It's Friday night and Saturday afternoon. So, I think we have the time. So it'd just be a great time to really tune into the practice a little bit more. So I have that. And then mid next week, I'm going to do a pop-up 5-day cleanse. So I usually do a little bit longer cleanses, but we're going to do pop-up 5-day cleanse, which will include some education on Ayurvedic nutrition. So I'd be happy to have you in that as well. Details are coming on that. Yeah, that's all I have to say. If you want to be on my email list so that you'll get this information via your email, just drop me a line, send me a message that gives your email, and I can do that for you. Okay, much love. Thanks for being here. I'll continue to be here on Tuesday mornings, okay? Oh.